Congratulations, Chris. Listen, I guess first and foremost, for those of us that have born and raised here and watched every step of your career, you played for two legendary coaches before you got to the pro game in Jay Carlin and Mike Krzyzewski. What kind of experience was that learning from those guys?
Oh, terrible. They rode me pretty hard. They tried to get the best out of me. That's what terrible coaching is all about. But no, I mean, it was great. I mean, they challenged me, every single day. They wanted me to get better, not accept just being, average and, be the best that I can be all the time. And Coach Carlin, who's here today, helped me learn, the point guard position at the highest level, just to see the court at a high level. And, when we got to Coach K, he amplified that. So I was very, very fortunate and blessed to be able to have those two guys in my life.
The video did you justice because you were truly a two-way player, if not a three-way player. You defended in terrific fashion. You could score the basketball, but you liked providing scoring for others. What did you get the most pleasure from? An assist, a steal, or scoring?
Winning. All three. All three of those things lead into winning. Again, Coach Carlin taught me that at a young age, that being able to impact the game in all type of ways. I think sometimes we can get blinded by just scoring and thinking that's the only way you can impact the game. But he made it a point that we can always impact the game in a lot of different ways, in a lot of different areas. And then, this is a team game. So whenever, you're with the team and everyone feels a part of it and is enjoying it, you can get a lot out of everybody and you get a lot of success at the same time.
When you were in the NBA, your career spanned when New Orleans returned to the NBA with the Hornets. At that time, what was it like coming back here for the first time and playing as an NBA player?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I mean, I had a lot of support. I think a lot of people from my high school that I used to go to school with came to the game. A lot of my friends and family were able to come to watch me play in the NBA game, and I think we won, so that was the biggest thing about that. But I always enjoyed. Obviously, that was a goal of mine, to be able to live that dream and to have that dream of playing in the NBA, and then also being able to play back home was very special to me.
Playing at Salmen and Slidell and ending up in the Big Apple at Madison Square Garden—that's quite a leap. I got to believe Duke probably helped you out preparing you for that eventually, right?
Yeah, I mean, we played a few games when I was at Duke at Madison Square Garden. So, when I was fortunate enough to be with the Knicks, the moment wasn't too big for me. I've been there a few times, but it was a special time. All the coaches that I've had in the NBA were very influential into me growing as a person and as a player. I've learned so much from them, especially on the basketball side, and I enjoyed every second of it.
Special guy, and now a special honor. We're in New Orleans Sports Hall of Fame. Chris Duhon, please give him a big round of applause.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Congratulations, Carmen. Obviously an incredible story. Most of us here are familiar with it. I know Ted Lewis is in the audience. He wrote a lot of that, of what we saw on screen. So, playing with the boys early on, did you know you were that good at that young of an age?
Oh yeah, I knew all the time. It was a whole lot of fun. My brother is a year older than me, Herb Jones, and he allowed me to go everywhere with him. So when he played, I played. We won a little money betting, out in the streets.
McMain boys have won state championship in basketball recently. Did you drag them kicking and screaming into playing high school basketball on the girls' side?
Pretty much. Our high school coach was Miss Joyce Gill, who actually passed a couple of months ago. Her daughter's here today, and she was a single parent at the time. So, it was really difficult to kind of cajole her into doing it because, she had her kids and that was important to her. But, she finally kind of gave in to us because, she could tell we were a special group as well. So we were just adored, with her taking the time to work with us. Because coaching is really difficult, and being a single parent and a coach is extra difficult. So
Julina T Lane, what was it like when you got that offer? What did that feel like to you? Tell me about that moment when you got the offer.
Yeah, it was great. I could remember the times riding my bike through campus a lot, and it just never occurred to me that they would actually offer me a scholarship. So when it happened, you know, I could tell by my parents just the pride in them for me getting offered, and it being a local school, it was just everything kind of lined up, and we were all excited about it.
It's an obvious question, but what does this mean to you?
Oh, this is a great honor, you know, to be recognized in the city that I grew up with for doing things that, you know, impacted the community. I think we did an excellent job showing that you can be intelligent and a good athlete at that time. And then female athletes just weren't being as respected, so being able to go out there with Coach Winfield, our track coach, and actually win state championships from a school being known as a high academic school, you know, we kind of initiated that precedent here as well.
Special in your hometown, isn't it?
Awesome in the hometown.
Yeah. And by the way, the largest contingent of supporters here tonight.
Hey, family.
Carmen Jones, Greater New Orleans Sports Hall of Fame. Carmen, congratulations.
Thank you.
Paul Thompson, boy, what a pleasure it was. He was at Tulane. I was right next door to Loyola. Used to go watch him all the time. Started in the media business, and wow, was he good. Coming out of Peabody, great program. I think Charles is still winning games there. It's incredible. After all these years, Tulane calls. Why did you choose Tulane, Paul?
Well, a couple of reasons. One was close proximity. You know, living in Alexandria, it allowed my friends and family, you know, the opportunity to come see me play. And academic-wise, you know, Tulane was known for being a tough academic university, and I like the city. So when I decided to make that decision, first of all, they thought that was nuts, going to Tulane, because I could have gone to other, you know, universities, but I stood firm, and I'm glad I did.
It was the Tulane gym there those days. Fogelman Arena now, call it what you may. But you got a chance to be in this building too. Talk about those memories here, man.
Oh yeah, well, you know, I got a couple of my teammates here too. Eric Dozier, Michael Blunt, who played with me, so they can speak upon that. So yeah, we had some tough games in here. First of all, they thought it was going to have an effect on other teams because, you know, it's so open. You got so many people in there. I don't know how true that was because we got beaten here a few times. So, I'm not going to lie to the folks. I'm going to tell the truth. Yes, we did. We got our butts handed to us a few times. But we learned and we competed. So that part, I'm glad that we did.
You know, the NIT appearances, it was very difficult in those days to get into the postseason. The NIT is nowhere near what it used to be. But going to Baton Rouge and beating those guys, that was a pretty good feeling, wasn't it?
Oh, that was absolutely great. Well, if people know from back in the day, you know, LSU used to have Tulane's number in all sports. So when we finally had a chance to meet them in the NIT tournament, and we knew we had to play them there, for us, it didn't really make a difference where we had to play. We just felt like matchup-wise, we could match up with them, and we beat them. So we're glad it happened, and after that, we didn't want to play anymore.
It's pretty good. Professional career, as mentioned, you had some time in the NBA, but played extensively abroad. Is there any one particular memory that stands out from your pro career?
I don't know, and we'd be here all night talking about it. There's a lot. There's a lot on my plate. My dad said I should write a book about it. NBA-wise, just the fact that being drafted and playing in the NBA and making the team, you are at that point one of the greatest players in the world. So to reach that pinnacle, you know, that's self-satisfying. And then some of the players that I got a chance to play with and against. I played against Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Kareem, Michael Jordan. You you name it. Dr. J, Charles Barkley, there's just so many, the list is so long, there's so many great players that I've got a chance to play against and play with. But I'm going to say that my time in Philadelphia, playing with Julius Erving at that time, I learned a lot because for him, it was taking someone who would listen and actually had a good head on his shoulders and knew what he was talking about. So he explained a lot of things to me, how things worked, how things didn't work, what to expect. But I also got that my first year in Cleveland too with some of the veterans there, especially Will Be Free. People still don't recognize him as being one of the greatest NBA scorers in NBA history, and he needs to be recognized for that.
Last thing, you mentioned Jordan and Bird. They not only, of course, Jordan recognized probably as the best ever, Bird one of the best ever. Who was the biggest trash talker? Because those guys were legendary in that regard.
Well, see, this is where that Tulane education came in. See, I was smart enough not to trash talk anybody. But I was on the court enough times to hear people trash talk. I heard Larry Bird, and I can honestly tell you, it was the weirdest thing that I had heard because, you hear some trash talk, but it was almost like he was monologuing out there. And he was telling the player that was defending him exactly what he was going to do, when he was going to do it, and there wasn't anything that you could do to stop him.
It's pretty special.
True story. All the guys you hear stories, if you can YouTube all these conversations that people have talking about Larry Bird. He did exactly that. I was on the court for some of that. So I was smart enough not to talk trash to anybody. I kept my mouth closed, and I did exactly what I needed to do. That was it.
One of Tulane's greats. It's a pleasure watching him, and it's a pleasure having him back here in our town tonight, which is his home away from home. Ladies and gentlemen, Hall of Famer, Paul Thompson.